conference. We are joined by the Tennessee baseball team, and right now we have Evan Russell joining us. Before we get to questions, just a few reminders for the media. If you do have a question, please use the raise hand function. We will get to as many as we can. And when you are called upon, please state your full name and affiliation so Evan knows who he is speaking with. Evan, why don't you give us a quick opening statement about what it means to you to be in Omaha, and then we'll get to questions.
You know, it's been quite a while since the University of Tennessee came to Omaha. I think everyone in our dugout is really excited to be here. You know, we want to thank everyone for, being very respectful and being very welcoming. I think our fan base is excited to be able to come out to Nebraska and, get to watch us play some baseball. I was thinking out in the outfield, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Coach V and the staff, they've worked hard for us to be here, and I think we're going to continue to try to give, our fan base a good show, and, I think we're just ready to play some ball.
Thank you so much. We will go ahead on with questions. Our first question comes from Troy. Troy, please go ahead. Troy, can you please go ahead with your question?
Yeah, sorry. Trevor Overhand here from the Daily Times, Evan. I was just wondering, a lot has been made about the size of the ballpark in Omaha and maybe y'all's inability to hit home runs. But how beneficial do you think it's been for y'all to be able to score in a lot of different varieties, not necessarily be, I guess, reliant on that home run ball, but also being able to play some small ball and some of that stuff in that regard?
It is a big ballpark. We just got done practicing on it, so we saw the gaps were, there were some big gaps. The outfielders are going to have a lot to cover, but, the bigger the ballpark, the more fans we get in the stadium. I think we can beat you in a lot of ways. I think our lineup's pretty balanced. I think we have a lot of speed, especially at the top of our lineup. I don't think anyone in our dugout's any worried about the size of the ballpark, because I think we have some, pretty physical guys. So I actually think that it helps our pitching staff a little bit. I think Blake Tidwell, Chad Dallas, Will Heflin, Sean Hunley, I think they're going to have a little bit more confidence. And, our guys throw strikes. If it's going to be hard to leave the yard that day, I think that plays to our advantage.
Thank you. Let's go next to a question from Ryan. Ryan, please go ahead.
Ryan Shumpert, VolQuest.com. Evan, you mentioned a minute ago that it's been a long time since Tennessee's been here, and I know everybody's good this time of year, but you look on your side of the bracket, Virginia, Mississippi State, Texas, no strangers to Omaha. Is that something you kind of revel in, the opportunity to play against the storied programs and kind of continue to build your program's brand?
I think it's awesome. I grew up watching Texas, Virginia, Mississippi State, going to Omaha pretty consistently. So I think it's pretty awesome to see that we've kind of slid in and made a mark this season, and we're surrounded by teams that have been here consistently. So, I think we're ready to take that challenge. And, but the beauty about it is not many people on the other teams have been to Omaha themselves. There's a few on Mississippi State, and but with the COVID year, it's hard to really rely on being here. I think this is kind of a new atmosphere to a lot of people. And, I think it's going to come down to who competes more and who can relax at the plate and on the mound. So I think we're ready to go.
Thank you. We'll go next to a question from Ben. Ben, go ahead.
Ben McKee with VolQuest. Evan, baseball is such a sport where you need so many repetitions, and it's not often that you go a week without playing baseball. Just how all have you prepared with so much time in between games, and then even looking ahead to the week, just a day off in between games? Kind of, is there anything different to preparation, or has it kind of been the same for you all?
I think this week was much needed for one person named Sean Hunley. I think it kind of helps our arms take a deep breath and be ready to go for a gauntlet. I think that I don't think anybody in our dugout are going to be concerned about people having some sore arms. I think we're ready for our big dogs to throw a lot. So I think us, taking a reset and getting our bodies under us and, you know, with the help of our strength coach, Coach Q, and our trainer Woody, you know, I think we have some guys that can help us, you know, get our legs back under us and, you know, get our bodies fresh. So I think it does help. But we're about to enter, you know, hopefully a couple days of, you know, hard grinding and a lot of high emotion. So I think we're prepared. So I think we just need to go out and play.
Thank you. And for those who have just joined us from the media, we are currently speaking with Evan Russell. If you have a question for Evan, please use the raise hand function. Let's go to Kelly next. Kelly, go ahead.
Hey, Evan, Kelly and Stitz with WATE TV in Knoxville. How do you balance the excitement and taking in, you know, and appreciating you guys getting to this moment, getting to the College World Series, but also getting your mind right for game day? How do you balance that?
You know, there are a lot of extra things to that can get your mind focused on, you know, outside things that doesn't take place on the field. So I think that's the beauty of us coming in early in the week to go ahead and get it all out of the way. You know, I think everyone's kind of settled in and looked around and taken a deep breath, like, hey, we're finally here. You know, this is an awesome place to be. But once Sunday hits, or even Saturday, you know, I think we finally need to start getting back to playing our game and focusing on the real reason why we're here, because, you know, we're not here just to be here. I think we kind of want to make a statement and, you know, see how far we can go.
Let's go back to Troy with a follow-up. Troy, go ahead.
Evan, you might be the perfect guy to ask this, considering you have 2 home runs against Jack Leiter, but does it make it any easier going against a guy like Andrew Abbott, considering the pitchers you guys have faced, like Leiter, Rocker, Marceau, and all those guys?
You know, we face the best of the best. You know, there hasn't been a look we haven't seen on the mound. You know, like you said, Jack Leiter, Kumar Rocker, we faced some guys that it's going to be hard to be better than. But you know, the guy that we're facing Friday night, or potentially, he's got some good stuff. It's real. You know, his numbers, they don't lie; they speak for themselves. So I do think it gives us confidence to know that we've played against the best, and, you know, we've competed, and we haven't, you know, shied away from the spotlight. So I'm ready to see it happen. I'm ready to see his matchup with whoever we throw, and I'm ready to see what our lineup can do. So.
And let's go to Ben with a follow-up. Ben, go ahead.
Evan, how cool was it to share that moment with the team and Coach Vitello when you all kind of let him know that he had won National Coach of the Year? And from your perspective, why is he so deserving of National Coach of the Year? You know,
it's not surprising to anyone, especially in that locker room. The man has worked. You know, I don't know if I've ever seen him not at the field. You know, there were times early in my career where I would go to the field at, you know, 10 o'clock at night because I was bored and I wanted to, you know, improve. And, you know, he was there. He was there, you know, making the schedule for the next day. You know, he's recruiting. You know, I think there's not a person in the entire country more deserving of an award. And, you know, the beauty about it is whenever he was talking about it, you know, after he received it, the only thing he could talk about were his assistant coaches. You know, and I think that shows the character of a man that doesn't really care about individual awards. And, you know, I think he's built a staff around him that, you know, can keep this program where it's at. And I think he's going to have a lot more success in the future. And I can't wait to see how it happens.
All right, we'll go next to a question from Ryan. Ryan, go ahead.
Sure, this isn't at the forefront of your mind at all right now, but I believe with the NCAA COVID rule, you could come back and play another season next year. Is that something you've given any thought to?
You know, looking before this week, I was pretty certain that it's hard to beat this year. So, you know, I would probably want to go back and play or go ahead and play pro ball and see what I can do. But, you know, it's hard to beat this. You know, Omaha, Nebraska, I stepped out on the outfield and just looked around, and I don't think you can get that in pro ball unless you make it to the World Series. But, you know, I think the feeling of being here is unmatched. You know, it's definitely crossed my mind already to be like, man, it'd be nice to come back here, you know, again and try it, you know, for the second time. But, you know, I think we're focused on right now and, you know, after the season, after this couple weeks are over, I think I'll be able to make a decision. But, it's going to be hard to beat Omaha, and, it's just a lot of information I'm going to have to, decide on.
We've got time for a couple more questions with Evan. Let's go next to Wes. Wes, go ahead.
Yeah, Evan, what makes y'all think that, every moment you've gotten to this year and you said, well, people have said, would this be too big for Tennessee? Are these guys ready for this moment? All season, y'all have proved that you were ready for the moment. What makes you think, you'll be able to do the same thing on this stage, this next couple weeks?
Our team's led by guys like Luke Lipsius and Chad Dallas and Will Heflin, Sean Hunley. It's hard to really get tense and, take everything serious whenever you got guys that can just go out there and play and not worry about anything. There's no one in our locker room that, makes this life or death. And I think that kind of helps us on the mental side because, it is still a game. And, I think that everyone in our dugout thinks that we're talented enough to win every game that we're in. So I don't think we need to force anything. And I think we should take that same mentality to, this coming up game and treat it like a regular game at Lindsey Nelson.
Evan, it looks like that was the last question. So thank you so much for your time today and for speaking with the media. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Go Vols.
Thank you.